per hour. I feel like, yeah, they could just jog quicker than that. That's kind of weird. Next, new car smell is the scent of dozens of chemicals. That honestly does not surprise me because I don't necessarily think the new car smell is really that great. I know some people like it, but I don't know. I mean, what else would it be other than chemicals, right? Next, the world wastes about 1 billion metric tons of food each year. That definitely hurts my soul to read because I hate wasting food and I get stressed out over like throwing away one lone strawberry that like I didn't eat in time, let alone thinking about, you know, the bigger picture of how much food gets wasted at restaurants. And it just, oh, it's so sad to think about. And it's also unfortunate since there's so many starving people in the world to know that some people have such a surplus and some people don't have anything to eat at all. So that's why I really like free ad placement, HelloFresh, because everything is perfectly portioned out for me and I don't have to waste a lot of ingredients. I look like I'm swimming in this sweatshirt, by the way, guys. It looks like I'm literally, it looks huge. It's not, I'm pretty sure this is a size small. Okay. Next, hair and nails grow faster during pregnancy. I did know this, and correct me if I'm wrong, if there's any nurses or doctors. I believe that's due to like the prenatal vitamins. I'm sure there's other things involved. Okay, it says this is due to changes in hormones as well as increased blood circulation and metabolism supplying nutrients. Yeah, I also have heard that you lose, or a lot of people lose hair after pregnancy, which I'm not looking forward to, you know, one day when I do have kids. Let me know, all my moms, did you experience a lot of hair growth during your pregnancy? And did you experience hair loss post-pregnancy? The world's smallest reptile was first reported in 2021. A tiny chameleon was discovered in northern Madagascar, measuring at just 28.9 millimeters, and is believed to be the smallest reptile on Earth. Ah, cute. I remember seeing, I forget what movie, I think it was one of the Spy Kids movies. Shout out to Spy Kids. That was like the shit growing up. And I remember like in one of the movies they had like little tiny dinosaurs or something, and I just remember thinking like, I want a tiny dinosaur. So this chameleon is kind of like that. That's what it reminds me of. Next, the moon has moon quakes. I definitely did not know that. Just as Earth has earthquakes, the moon has moon quakes. They're less common and less intense, I always say this, I feel like squirrels have anxiety, not embarrassment, but anxiety. If you ever just look at a squirrel and they're like shaking and like so like ready to jump or whatever it is, I'm just like, I feel like squirrels are just constantly in a state of panic. Just me, I don't know. Okay, this one's so random. The wood frog can hold its pee for up to 8 months. Damn. Talk about having to go. Wood frogs in Alaska have been known to hold their urine for up to 8 months, sticking it out through long winters before relieving themselves once temperatures increase. The urine actually helps keep the animal alive while it hibernates. Okay. I don't know the longest I've ever held my pee, but it definitely was nowhere near 8 months. Maybe like 6 months, but definitely not 8. Oh, this is so interesting. You lose up to 30% of your taste buds during flight. This might explain why airplane food gets such a bad reputation. The elevation in an airplane can have a detrimental effect on our ability to taste things. The dryness experienced at high elevation, as well as low pressure, reduces the sensitivity of a person's taste buds to sweet and salty foods by about 30%. At that dry cabin air affects our ability to smell, and our ability to taste is reduced further. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I've never had like a fantastic meal on a plane, and I always feel gross about eating on planes too, just because like there's so much awareness. Like you're literally inches from a stranger half the time, and you don't want to like get anything that's like bothering them in terms of smell or chewing loudly. There's nowhere to like really like put your arms while you're holding your food. And then like the issue of the garbage and all that. Plus just like germs. It just feels like really germy on planes. So maybe that's just another part of it. Okay. Next, your nostrils work one at a time. When we breathe in and out of our nose during the day, one nostril does most of the work at a time, with the duties switching every several hours. This nasal cycle is dictated by the same autonomic nervous system that regulates heart rate, digestion, and other unconscious bodily functions. And it's the reason when our nose gets stuffed up, it does so one nostril at a time. Oh, okay, that makes sense, because definitely I can relate to the stuffy nose thing. It's always just one side of your nose, and it's so frustrating, and you're like, why can't I breathe out of my one side? Next, only 2 mammals like spicy food: humans, and the tree shrew. Okay, I used to not like spicy food at all when I was younger, and I've since grown into it a bit. I've definitely noticed that my taste buds over the years have changed. Like I even like a tiny bit of wasabi now, which before I would have like thrown up. Next, the M in M&M's, or the M's in M&M's, stands for Mars and Murray. I never knew that. That would be Forrest Mars and Bruce Murray, the 2 businessmen who created the candy-coated chocolates. The 2 actually had a very contentious relationship, as Mars leveraged Murray out of his 20% share in the company back in 1949, years before M&M's would become the best-selling candy in the U.S., paying him just $1 million for a share of the business that would quickly become worth billions. Damn. I know there's the movie, not McMillions, because that's about which you have to watch if you haven't, that's about the, scandal with the, like, Monopoly prizes. I think that's on HBO. But there's another McDonald's English word with the most definitions is set. According to Guinness World Records, set has the largest number of meanings of any word in the English language, with 430 different senses listed in the 1989 edition of the Oxford English Dictionary. The word sets the record. You see what they did there? With an entry running 60,000 words or 326,000 characters. Damn. Okay. Next. The dot over the lowercase I or J is known as a tittle. I did not know that. Chewing gum boosts concentration. I could see for some people. The first computer was invented in the 1940s. Okay, this one's weird. Space smells like seared steak. When you see footage of astronauts floating peacefully in space, do you ever wonder, what does space smell like? Well, according to some former astronauts, space has a distinct odor that hangs around post-spacewalk. They've described it as hot metal or searing steak. Next, the longest wedding veil was the same length as 63.5 football fields. How? When a man or a woman from Cyprus got married in August 2018, her goal wasn't just to say I do. She was also determined to set a record. My dream as a child was always to break the Guinness World Record title for longest wedding veil. She fulfilled her dream by wearing a lace veil that stretched 22,843 feet. That's so excessive and weird flex. Why do you? That is so specific and so random and so wasteful and also ugly. Anywho. Oh, bees sometimes sting other bees. I did not know that. Bees are notorious for their stings, but humans aren't the only one who experience this pain in the neck or arm or leg. In protecting their hives from outsiders, some guard bees will stay by the entrance and sniff the bees that come in. If there's a rogue bee from another hive trying to steal some nectar, the guard bee will bite and even sting the intruder. I could see that making sense. Next, kids ask 300 questions a day. Yeah. A 2013 UK study observed young children and recorded the questions they asked the adults around them. The children tend to take turns, or children tended to turn to their mothers for answers, and these moms could end up answering an average of nearly 300 questions per day, or one question every 2.5 minutes. The moms reported the hardest question they were asked included, why is water wet? And what are shadows made of? Yeah, I know that when my sister was little, she asked my dad why Santa doesn't bring the less fortunate children presents. Santa is out here, with his magic sleigh and giving presents to children all over the world. And a lot of kids probably don't realize that less fortunate families don't get as many presents or whatever it is because you're not in your classmates' house with them on Christmas morning. But my dad, at that point, my sister was looking for him to give her reassurance that Santa was indeed real and, explain there has to be a rational explanation for this, why these children don't get toys like I do. And he said, instead of giving her that reassurance, he said, Gina, I'm going to be honest with you, Santa is was not real. So she was like really caught off guard there. But yeah, kids ask a lot of questions. They're just candid and they want to know and learn about the world around them. And I actually don't mind that. I love children. It's like a fun fact about me, the way that people love puppies and animals and they're obsessed and they want to show their animals on Snapchat and things. I'm like that with babies. Like, I love babies. I love kids. I will always want to see your child's photo, video, Snapchat, cute baby. I just love babies. So you would think I'd be more in a rush to like have my own. But I will one day. I just know that when I do have them, I'm going to love them like so unbelievably much that I won't care about anything else. So trying to just be selfish for the time being until I get to a certain age that I have in mind. Alright, so I'm just going to read a couple more. E is the most common letter and appears in 11% of all English words. Yeah. A dozen bodies were once found in Benjamin Franklin's basement. Okay. The bones were discovered during a 1998 renovation of the house in his London home and were identified as being from nearly a dozen people, including 6 children. The most plausible explanation is not a mass murder, but an anatomy school run by Franklin's young friend and protege, William Hewson. Okay, wow. A pharaoh once lathered his slaves in honey to keep bugs away from him. That's awful. Some people have an extra bone in their knee. Pringles aren't actually potato chips. They're not made from potatoes, but instead dehydrated potato flakes pressed into their signature parabolic shape. That's what makes them less greasy. Interesting. And let's do one more for good measure. Abraham Lincoln's bodyguard left his post at Ford Theater to go for a drink. Damn. Okay. Well, I think those are pretty good facts. There's like a lot more where that came from too within that specific article. So if you guys like these videos or if you're a patron and you want more of this on Patreon, just let me know. One of you told me my Patreon link was not working again, so I'm just going to delete my YouTube channel and move to another country because I just can't handle that anymore. Just kidding, but let me know. Click on my Patreon link. Does it work? And if not, it's patreon.com/ASMRXbabe with 2 E's. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a good day. And I will see you all right back here on Sunday.